I've been flatbedding now for almost 3 years, and I've never had a load like this. So here's what I'm working with, guys. Got a load of lumber poles. You see how loose this strap is? I just did my last load check 50 miles ago, and they keep loosening up because the load needs to settle in there. So this load is going to be a real, you know, high demanding of my attention kind of deal here. But yeah, I'm going to have to go around this and tighten up all these straps here. What I'd like to know is, when did P&S ever get into the logging business? You know, it might be a new account given the economy. They might have been picking up whatever kind of freight they can get, but I've never seen anybody haul it. If you've hauled it, let me know. You know, if it's a regular account, I'd be curious to know if that's something that we normally haul. But yeah, this load, it's going to consist of a lot of stops, a lot of load checks, because the straps want to keep, you know, loosening up as the load settles. So I think I'm going to stop every 100 miles, and then once the straps are nice and taut, you know, after and it doesn't start loosening up anymore, then I'll run my regular 3 hours, 150 miles. But until then, I'm doing a load check every 100 miles on this load. So with that being said, I got a lot of miles, guys. This is going all the way down to Dubuque, Iowa, and I got to get there by Friday morning. So let's hit the road and let's do it.
You on my mind a lot, don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You like my oxygen, make it seem like the barging down. Got my heart no barging in, from the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up, break you in then break you out. In the end we gon' make a child, then we gon' hit the show. Part 2 we don't need no pause. You can't miss me, we gon' get tipsy, don't need a power shot. Got my heart no in the bed. Break you in then.
Alright guys, so I've already driven another 100 miles. Let's see if my securement is loose again. Alright, that one's a lot better. That one, it seems like they're starting to settle in there. That one could be a little bit tighter. Yeah, so it seems like about time the load is starting to settle in. I'm going to drive another 100 miles, guys, and do one more load check before I start doing it every 150, just to be on the safe side. But it does seem like my securement is starting to stay secure, I guess. It's the load is definitely settling in. So check this out. When they loaded the load, all these poles were pretty much even with each other, and you can see just from the braking and just from me driving that some of these are starting to telescope on me. So this is a classic case, guys, of, you know, where the load is going to dictate how I drive all the way down to Iowa. Obviously, I'm going to have to drive a little bit more defensive than I normally would, meaning, you know, maintain a longer driving distance between me and another vehicle, just because I don't want to have to lock on my brakes. That's the worst thing I could be doing right now with this load. It doesn't matter how many straps I got on it, how secure it is. I'm not wanting to lock on my brakes. So yeah, I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. All right, guys, good morning. I'm over here in Marion, Illinois. It is Tuesday, or not Tuesday, what am I thinking? God, it's been such a long week. It's Thursday, September 21st. I got 430 miles to go, and on the load notes it says to give this guy a call. So let's go ahead and give him a call. Hey Sean, this is Jason with P&S Transport. How you doing this morning?
Good.
I'm on my way, man. I should be there tomorrow morning as scheduled. The load note said it wanted me to give you a call, let you know.
Okay, what time are you going to be there in the morning? I won't be back to town, so probably we run loads in the morning. I probably won't be back to Dubuque until probably 11 o'clock or so.
Okay, what do you mean you run loads in the morning? So do I get there before 11 or like?
We have an unmanned yard, so there's two of us. We both drive semis and deliver poles. We have a boom on our truck, and that's how we unload you guys.
I got you. So you're not going to be there until 11 is what you're saying?
Well, I could be there a little before. I mean, you're more than welcome to be there. Just, I don't want you wasting all your time, on your e-log or ever waiting for me, you know what I mean?
Well, I appreciate that consideration. So, okay, we're looking at 11 o'clock. Anything I need to know about the job site to make my life easier? There's no...
It's a yard job, so it's right. It's not a job site, it's a yard.
Okay.
It's actually...
Okay. All right. Cool, man. I'll be there by 11 then tomorrow, if not earlier. Yeah.
I said, what do you got for an address?
Let me see. I got 100 Railroad Avenue.
Okay, it's 160 Railroad Avenue. They can always put the wrong address on it.
Yeah, that would help. You said what?
I'm assuming 160.
Yes, sir. Okay, Railroad Ave.
And I'm assuming you're going to be coming up 74 through Peoria and all that good stuff up, right?
Let me just confirm that real quick. Yeah, it looks like I'm coming up, going north on 74, straight into it. It looks like it intersects with 151 there.
Yep. Okay, so you're going to come up to Davenport. So when you get up through Peoria, you run up through Peoria, you get on Interstate 80. Interstate 80 runs you over to Davenport, Iowa. In Davenport, Iowa, you get on 61 and go north. And then once you get into Dubuque, 61 and 151 run together.
Yes, sir. I got that.
Do not follow your GPS.
No.
You're gonna come in. You're gonna come into Dubuque. You're gonna hit your. There's gonna be one stoplight. There's gonna be a Casey's on your left-hand side. You're gonna go a little bit further. You're gonna have a big John Deere implement. There'll be one more stoplight, and that's where Highway 52 goes south. So then we're two stoplights. You're gonna keep going north through them. You're gonna drop down a valley, come up another valley. Your GPS is probably gonna want to get you off on Highway 20. Do not do that. Get in the left-hand lane. There's one more stoplight. At that third stoplight, there is an Arby's, food chain restaurant.
Yeah, my GPS has me getting off at Jones Street.
If it gets you off on Jones Street, you'll be okay then.
Yeah, take a left on Jones Street and then going on South Main Street, and it looks like it goes right on the Railroad Ave there.
Yes, sir. You get the single set of railroad tracks. Do not cross that. There'll be right to the left there. There's a gravel driveway. I mean, when you're coming down over the highway, look to your right towards the river. You'll see our pole yard.
Oh, you're on the right-hand side because Railroad Ave is on the left of the interstate.
No, it will be because you're going to be going underneath of it.
Right.
You're making a big loop. You're driving over top of it first, and then you're going to be driving underneath of it. It's kind of confusing, but your directions are right. You'll take a left on Railroad Avenue, drive in there, and you'll be right to the pole yard.
Okay. All right, man.
So you're more than. I mean, if you want to shoot for 10 o'clock,
I'd prefer to.
Great. Because I got to be in Rushford, Minnesota in the morning. So
okay.
I can probably be up there first thing, and I'll try to be back somewhere between that 10:30 mark for you.
All right.
I'll leave a little earlier because I can't get in till 7. So I'll leave early and get in there and try to get my load kicked off for you.
All right. Well, then you understand being a driver. I'm trying to get on that load board for a Friday. You know.
Nope. Exactly, and that's why we try to tell these guys, call us ahead of time, because if you guys got to wait someplace on your 10 hours, don't drive to our yard and expect that we're going to be sitting there waiting. It's an unmanned yard, so nobody calls ahead of time. So on your part, you called ahead of time. You get there somewhere between 10:30. I'll be there.
You got it, man. I appreciate you. Thank you, and be safe out there.
Sounds good, man. You too, man. Bye.
See you. Wow, that was a long phone call. But glad I called. You know, a lot of times I don't understand it. A lot of times I get the wrong address. You know, like my job is to deliver the product. People, give me the right address. You know, that's why I always call the receiver. Sometimes I call the shipper, but I pretty much always call the receiver because you just never know what's going on the other end there. Anyways, yeah, so it looks like, you know, even though I could get unloaded early, and I'm looking at 10:30, possibly 11 o'clock in the afternoon, in the morning, and, you know, I'm trying to get on the load board early so I can get a good weekend load. So we'll see how that plays out, guys. Stick with me, and, yeah, let's get it done. That phone call that I did, it had me thinking, you know, and that's one of the things that just really sucks about trucking is no matter how well you try to put yourself in a good position, you know, there's just some things that are out of your hand. Like getting unloaded at 10:30, 11 o'clock on a Friday is just, you know, you got to be on a load board first, you know, so you get good loads, a good weekend load. And your weekend load really dictates your paycheck, you know, your whole week. So, you know, it just really sucks. But I got some good news. I reached out. You know, sometimes you got to grease a few palms to get what you want. And, yeah, I reached out to the guy and I was like, hey, man, you know, any chance you could get me unloaded tonight? And I said I could be there between 6 and 7. He said, yeah, no problem, because he's a truck driver himself. He understands the situation, and he's got to make a run up to Minneapolis. So, you know, we're both really helping each other out, and I'm going to toss him $20 to get me taken care of. So that's awesome news. You know, I made the initiative, and it was a shot in the dark, and I lucked out. So if all goes well, hopefully the plans don't change. He can get me unloaded tonight. That way I'll be first on the load board first thing in the morning tomorrow. So yeah, I got about 250 more miles to go before I get down to him. And let's go ahead and hit the road and get this done with. So I just called Sean, the guy that's unloading me. I called him back because there's no sense in him meeting up with me. What happened is my new dispatcher called me while I was driving down here and gave me some preload options, which is rare for them to do. I lucked out. I'm actually able to take a load. It's going to be some Caterpillar parts. Take that down to Griffin, Georgia, and finish my week with $6,000 gross to the truck. That's my goal, guys, is to at least make $6,000. For the way this week has been, it's just been hectic. It's been a slow week. I mean, this week has seemed like it's been 2 weeks. But I'll give you guys a little story on as far as, you know, greasing other people's palms to get stuff done out here. I was in Aliquippa. I picked up a load over there. And on the load notes, it was a Friday. On the load notes, it said that when I'm dropping it, it said that they're receiving until 5 o'clock. Well, they don't receive until 5 o'clock. They only received until 4 o'clock. And what happened was my DM double booked me. He's like, okay, so when you drop that load off, because obviously it'll be 5 o'clock, you know, we'll have a week. he gave me a weekend load basically, but I had to be able to drop that load off in time. Well, with them and with the load note saying 5 o'clock and they only received till 4 o'clock, I actually wouldn't have been there until 5 o'clock. So that was a situation when I called the guy. I could tell it was a small shop kind of deal. It wasn't like one of these big, you know, big places that unload us. And I spoke with the guy and I was like, hey man, you know, any chance you guys can stay till 5? I'll give you guys, I'll give your unloaders $30 a piece. And he went out and asked them, and they said, yeah, not a problem. They'll do that for me. And I ended up not even getting there until 5:30 in the afternoon. So I gave them $40 a piece to get me unloaded. So I paid $80 in order not to miss out on my weekend load in order to make my week. To me, that cost up front made sense to make my money on the back end. So, you know, just an idea for you guys. You know, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to make ends meet out here. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. If you like the content, you already know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Y'all take care.
Copy my steel. Face the fact that ain't no cap, I'm real.